YouTube, friends, vinyl junkies, everybody. This is the artist formerly known as Stereo Steve, and I'm making another vinyl community video for y'all. So hi, how's it going? So I did the jazz vinyl tag, and that one got a fair amount of views. I was in some comments, and that made me happy. And I was like, I don't know if I want to make these vinyl videos or not, because, you know, I don't know, I got records, I listen to them, but I don't always have that much to say about them. But then the blues vinyl tag came up, thanks to BluesGuyVinyl. And I'm looking through my records, and I don't have that many blues records, but looking at the questions, I've got enough of them to make a decent enough video. I have enough good records that I can make a pretty interesting video, so I thought, why not? So here we go. So let's just get to it. Question number one, Zap, an electric blues album. Okay. So for my electric blues album, this is Mel Brown, I'd Rather Suck My Thumb. And wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? And this is on the Impulse label. So I assumed it was going to be a more jazzy record, but this is actually a solid, groovy, funky electric blues record by a great guitarist. That's my electric blues album. Next question, number two, acoustic blues album. So let's see. For my acoustic blues album on the Prestige Folklore label, this is Jesse Fuller, San Francisco Bay Blues. And this is about as acoustic as it gets, because besides vocals and guitar, he's also got a harmonica, kazoo, and washboard going on. So yeah. And it's a lovely OG green label. And being in San Francisco, got to represent for the San Francisco Bay Blues. Alright, next, Whoopee, a live blues album. So for my live blues album, I chose B.B. King, live in Cook County Jail. And this is on ABC Records. And, you know, it's got Thrill Is Gone, and Every Day I Have the Blues, and I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's what I say a lot. I mean, yeah. Because, I mean, yeah. A gatefold double album, 2-record set. And this is probably one of my favorite blues guys, John Lee Hooker. And this is the album Endless Boogie, also on the ABC label. And I think this is where the band Endless Boogie got their name from, is this album. And it is exactly what it says on the tin. Long 10-minute jams with a full band. And I recommend, if you see this, grab it. I mean, if you want to just put on a record that's just grooves, you know, this is a good one. And this is a double album. Your oldest blues album, either by age or how long you've had it. And I've had this record for a long time, and it is old. And this is another one of my favorites. Lightnin', The Blues of Lightnin' Hopkins. And this is OG rare original with the lightning bolt on the cover, where the most of the time you see this, it's a picture of him like playing guitar and smoking a cig. But this is original Prestige Bluesville Lightnin' Hopkins. Newest or most recent find. Okay, and this is another live album. This is the most recent blues record that was added to my collection. This is Muddy Mississippi Waters Live. And it's live Muddy Waters album from 1979, produced by Johnny Winter. It's It's got Johnny Winter, James Cotton in the band. And what label is this on? This is on Blue Sky Records. So that's the most recent blues record. Okay, a 45 RPM 7-inch blues record. That is question number 7. And here we go. This is Evil by Howlin' Wolf. And it's the electric version from the Howlin' Wolf album, He Doesn't Like It. And it's on the Cadet Concept, which is a Chess subsidiary. Great song, great sounding. Okay, Blues 10-inch. Now this is where, oh, there's my phone just rang. Go away. Spam, 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 lovely spam, wonderful spam. Show a 10-inch blues record. Okay, so this is kind of bending the rules a little bit, I think. So I don't know if this is going to count to a lot of people, but Little Axe, The Wolf That House Built. And Little Axe was the world's first ambient dub blues project. And if you know On You Sound Records, Dub Syndicate, it's Adrian Sherwood, Skip McDonald, Doug Wimbish, and Keith LeBlanc. And it's basically some kind of dubby music like they make with samples of blues songs laid over it. And this was to promote the CD, this 10-inch record that they put out. And it's pretty cool because they made it look like an old OK 78. I mean, it plays at 33, and it's 2 songs from the album. And this is a good record. I dig Little Axe. But yeah, it's basically just kind of dub music with blues samples. And it's 10-inch, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, next, a record on the Chess label. And most famous artist on the Chess label is Chuck Berry. And this is a record he did called Bio in 1972, I think. And it's more of a straight up blues kind of record than his early rock and roll, kind of laid back blues. And it's a good record, and it's, you know, the 70s style Chess label. Record on the Delmark label. Okay, so I only have a couple of records on Delmar. One is a jazz record, which is Sun Ra, and the other record that I have on Delmar, which I'm going to represent for this video, this is Hoodoo Man Blues by Junior Wells Chicago Blues Band. And this is an original copy, and the way that you can tell is because the later copies of it say featuring Buddy Guy underneath, because Buddy Guy is the guitarist on this record. But the original copies, Buddy Guy was under a contract where he could not state his name. So if you look, instead of Buddy Guy, he goes by the name Friendly Chap. And this is a great record. It's on Delmark. And next, show a record on the Alligator Records label. And I have a couple of Alligator records. I decided this is the one I'm going to talk about. This is Hound Dog Taylor and the House Rockers on Alligator. And let me just show you the Alligator label with the alligator on it. And somebody else that I watch on YouTube a lot, just made a video talking about albums that sound better on vinyl than on CD. And this is like night and day. I mean, the first time I got this record, I got the CD, and I was just not feeling it. And the CD kind of came and went through my collection. And then I found this vinyl copy in the bargain bin, and on vinyl, this album just slaps. Just the rawness of the way he plays and sings just makes perfect sense on a record, the way it didn't when I listened to it digitally. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to say about that. Show a smaller independent label record. Okay. And this is again a little bit of a rule bender, because this may be more kind of gospel spiritual music than blues, but it's got the blues feel to me. This is Washington Phillips. What are they doing in heaven today? And this is a 500 copy limited edition from maybe 10 years ago or more, and it's on the Mississippi label out of Portland, Oregon. And that checks this box. Okay. Blues album in a regional style, like a city area or country. And this one, I might be bending the rules a little bit again, because does New Orleans Zydeco music count as blues? It kind of does, I think. This is Bogalusa Boogie by Clifton Chenier. I love this album cover, just with them all hanging out with their Winnebago. And it's on Arhoolie, and it's a goodie. It's a goodie. Okay, show a psychedelic blues album, man. Well, I think the one that best checks the box is The Seeds with Sky Saxon, the final Seeds album on GNP Crescendo with the original lineup of the band. They changed their name to Sky Saxon Blues Band and did this album A Spoonful of Seedy Blues. And it has liner notes by Muddy Waters, where he gives them an endorsement, says that they're the next Rolling Stones. And they were not the next Rolling Stones, but you know, you want to hear the Seeds doing blues? This is some psychedelic blues. All right. British blues album. This is Fleetwood Mac's first album, original American copy on Epic. And this was when it was Peter Green's British blues band, Fleetwood Mac. And it's got Hellhound on My Trail, Shake Your Moneymaker. It's just, it's solid. It's solid. And you can't go wrong with Peter Green. You know, I like pretty much all eras of the Mac. This is the bomb as far as British blues is concerned. An album by one of the kings of the blues. And of course the three kings are B.B. King, Freddie King, Albert King. And I already showed B.B. King, so I will show Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign. And this is on Atlantic. I think the OGs were actually on Stax, but this is an Atlantic copy. Okay. Album on colored vinyl. I was like, I don't have any blues albums on colored vinyl. And then I thought about the man Jimi Hendrix Experience, Live at Winterland. Maybe more counts as rock than blues, but The second side of this is basically taken up by long versions of Red House and Killing Floor. And it's on Ryko, and it's on this clear vinyl. Does clear count as a color? It's whatever color, you know. It's blue when I hold it up to my blue shirt. Yeah. So that's how I'm going to check that box off. Okay. Next is A Friend Had the Blues and You Caught It. Basically a record that was recommended to you. And this was like way back, I was talking to some people, and I mentioned that probably my favorite is John Lee Hooker. And one of my friends said, well, you got to get John Lee Hooker Alone. And I made a mental note, and years later I saw it and I grabbed it. It's on the specialty label, and it is. It's the man alone with his guitar playing and singing, and it don't get much better than that. Eureka, a glorious find or discovery. So something that you just kind of discovered on your own that you'd never heard of, and turned out to be good. So Michael Powers. I don't know too much about this guy, but when I was doing radio, when I was doing college radio, this record, this CD came into the station, and the hype sticker said recommended if you like Muddy Waters, John Lee Hooker's. So I gave a listen. He does a really good version of Psychotic Reaction on this. He also does I Can't Quit You Baby and She's About a Mover, Bird on the Wire. But this is really good, and this is a discovery because I'd never heard of this guy, and then it came to me. First blues album you remember getting, I think. Okay, so remember back with my jazz video, I was talking about hand-me-down records during my childhood that came from my dad or came from relatives, and that Lightnin' Hopkins record that I talked about earlier fits in there. And also this is Blue Spoon by Jimmy Witherspoon. Jimmy Witherspoon, very powerful voice, more of a jazz blues than a rock blues. I mean, this has Kenny Burrell on guitar, Gildo Mahonis on piano, Roy Haynes on drums, Eddie Kahn on bass. Very laid back, but very deep and reverberating. His version of Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out on this is deep. And there's a track on the second side, Blues in the Morning, that you should listen to in the morning. And yeah, this does not turn up very often. I've only seen it out in the wild twice, and I've grabbed it both times, a stereo copy and a mono copy. And yeah, that's primal. Okay, so that's the original 20 questions. I added a question 21, which is a blues compilation album, because there's a record that turns up in bargain bins and thrift stores a lot that is just kind of a ridiculous concept. It's called Symposium in Blues, and it's on RCA, but it's got kind of a odd promo looking label. It's not like the standard RCA label, but Symposium in Blues, and it's the first side is like really old school. It's got like Washboard Sam and Lonnie Johnson and Leadbelly. And then the second side gets a little more jazzy with Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, and Joe Williams. But here's the thing about this record. This record was released to promote Elavil, which is a antidepressant medication. So you got the blues? No need to waste time writing songs when you can just pop this pill. Yeah. So yeah, I thought I would share that. I mean, somebody sitting in a desk with suits like thought this would be clever, and they ran with it. Probably because they were popping these pills themselves. All right. That is my video. Please comment and like and maybe subscribe, because maybe I'll do something else that you'll like in the future.